Hello fashion lovers, you're welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be teaching you how to make this gorgeous bubu dress with this trending neck collar design. If you're just stopping by on my channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload new videos. You can see how gorgeous I'm looking in my outfit. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So here I folded my fabric into four, as you can see. I'm using 3.5 yards of fabric. If you are on the tall side, if you are very tall, you'll be making use of 4 yards, okay? So I folded my fabric into four, but from the center of from the nape of my neck, I want my outfit to cover my elbows, okay? So I'm adjusting my fabric. So I used 25 inches here. From the nape of my neck to my elbow, I'm using 25 inches. So here I'm measuring 25 inches from the open part of my fabric. You can see how I'm adjusting it. From the open part of my fabric, I'm using 25 inches all the way down to the end. So you can see me adjusting my fabric. I don't want to waste my fabric, so that's why I'm adjusting my fabric. So it depends on your length, on the length you are working with. But I'm using 25 inches for mine. So I'll continue to adjust until I'm satisfied. We are making a bubu dress, so this is not a fitted dress. It's going to be very free on the body. So once I'm done adjusting my fabric, I'm gonna get right into the cutting of the excess. Okay, so this excess I'm cutting out. We don't need this excess for this outfit, so I'll be using this excess as my head tie. I'm going to join them together and use it for my head tie. So you can see I have my open part here. So now you can see this part is closed, okay? So that's where I'm gonna be marking my neckline. I'll be using 3 inches for my neck width. I'm sorry I'm using this chalk. This is what I have in the house at the moment, and it's not too obvious, but please pay attention. You are still going to get what I'm trying to do in the video. So for this shoulder slant, I'll be using 2 inches for the shoulder slant. So that's where I'm marking my 2 inches on the open part. So I'm going to connect that 2 inches to the 3 inches I used for the neck width. So that's what I'm connecting here. I couldn't get another color of chalk. So please pay attention. So if you're on this very slim side, I will not advise you to use 3 inches for your neck width. Just use 2.5 inches for your neck width. So for the neck depth, I'll be doing 1 inch for the neck depth. 1 inch for the neck depth. 1 inch. So I connected to meet the 3 inches like so. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to mark out my round sleeve measurement. Okay, so I don't want this sleeve to be tight. I'm going to be using 10 inches for the sleeve opening. Okay, I'll be using 10 inches for the sleeve opening. So I'm just going to mark down my 10 inch like so. So I'm gonna be marking from the top of my shoulder down to the hip length, okay? And I'm going to mark that line across like so. And once I'm done doing that, I'm gonna be inputting my hip measurement divided by 4, and I'll be adding extra 7 inches to this because I want it to be very, very bogus. If you don't want yours to be very, very bogus, you can reduce your extra measurement you're adding to it, but this is a bubu, so I want extra, and the fabric I'm working with is very, very light. So once I'm done marking my measurement on the hip line, I'm gonna take all the measurement I have, both the measurement for the hip and the 7 inches extra I added. I'm gonna take that all the way down to the hem, like so. I'm just going to roll that all the way straight down to the hem, as you can see me do in this video. If you don't want your hem to be this wide, you can as well reduce your measurement on the hem line, but I want mine to be wide. You can reduce your measurement on the hem, so that's up to you. And I'm not doing any shape on this outfit. It's a boo-boo, so there's no point doing any shape. But if you want yours to have shape, you can mark your waistline and input your waist measurement and extra 7 inches. But I'm not doing that for mine, okay? I'm just going to go in by 4 inches on the armhole. You can see 4 inches on the armhole. Don't forget that we use 10 inches wide for the armhole opening. So I'm going to mark 4 inches like so on where the 10 inches stopped, and then I'll connect with a curve to meet the 4 inches mark. So I'm going to cut this out so that you will see what I'm talking about. You can see the curve. You don't want a sharp point, okay? If you have a sharp point, your armhole will not relax very well. So you need to have a curve on that part. So you can see I'm trimming the excess that we don't need out. So once I'm done doing that, I'm just taking my full length, I'm just cross-checking my full length again. So my full length is 60 inches, but I want extra. I added like 2 inches extra to it. So I'm just cutting out what I don't need from the down part, okay? I want my dress to be long. You know, if your boo-boo is not touching the floor, your boo-boo is not a boo-boo. So your boo-boo has to touch the floor, but it depends on you and it depends on what you like. I want my boo-boo long, okay? So I added 2 inches extra. If I have more fabric, I would have even added more, but I'm okay with the 62 inches length that I got. So now I'm just removing the inner part of I'm separating the front from the back, because don't forget we only cut out the neckline for the back, which is 1 inches depth for the back. So now I'm going to shape out the neckline for the front, okay? So for this style of neckline, of collar, your neckline has to be deep because there's no zipper at the back. So I'm using 9 inches depth for mine. From the 1 inch that we removed earlier, I'm marking 9 inches, which makes total of 10 inches I removed for the front neckline, okay? So once I'm done marking my 9 inches, I'm going to come in by 0.75 like so. 0.75, and I'll mark that across like so. and then I'm going to connect from the neck width down to the neck depth of my 9 inches. You can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to rule that as a straight line. This is like a V, but not really a V. So once I'm done cutting this out now, I'm going to show you what the neckline looks like. So don't forget, it's very important to follow the pattern on your fabric when you are working on any outfit. Follow the pattern. Make sure your pattern is placed in the middle. Okay, it's very, very important. So before you adjust your fabric, you want to make sure that you check your patterns first, okay? So you can see my fabric has plenty patterns. So you can see my center point, you can see the collar, you can see how the neckline is. So now we are here on the sewing machine and I'm just joining the shoulders together. Don't forget that I've gone ahead to weave my fabric off camera. You can see this. So I'm just joining the shoulders of both sides, okay? So once I'm done joining the shoulders, I'm going to make sure that I pin down the neckline. You can see I've pinned down the neckline and I cut out this black fabric. This is a crepe fabric and this is what we are going to be using for the collar. So the collar is 2.5 inches on fold. 2.5 inches on fold, and I've gone ahead to iron stay in between the collar. So this stay is very, very important. This will give your collar stability. So I'm gonna notch this part of the front neckline. Please take note, this is the front, not the back. Notch it like so with half of an inch. Half of an inch. So I'm going to remove my pins. I pinned down the neckline earlier because the fabric I'm working with is a fabric that moves easily. Okay, so that is why I pinned down my neckline. And don't forget that when you are cutting out the black fabric or whatever color you are using for your collar, make sure that you measure around your neckline and you cut the excess. So and you cut excess of the black. So you can see how my notch looks like on this fabric after I am done notching. So now on the right side of the fabric, I'm going to place my black fabric like so. I will make sure that it overlaps. That is why you need to have excess. Make sure that it overlaps with at least half of an inch or 1 inch. All you need is to have excess, okay? So I'm going to be sewing from the notched part of the fabric, from the notched part, okay? So I place it like so and I'm going to sew down my black crepe fabric round the neckline. Round the neckline. So you can see that I have excess of the black. So once I'm done sewing, I'm going to flip the excess inside. I'm going to flip it to the wrong side like so. So I noticed that it's not relaxing. So I flip to the wrong side. So the reason why it's not relaxed is because my sewing did not start from the notched part. Okay, that is why it's not relaxed. So I'm going to notch it again till it get to where my sewing started from. So I'm going to check the other side as well. So you can see this clearly. I will notch it till it get to where my sewing started from. You can see. So I'll flip it again and I'll repeat this. Flip the fabric to the wrong side. Once you flip it, you will notice that it's now relaxed because you have notched it properly. So you can see that it's now relaxed. So you tuck the excess notch inside to give it a clean finish. You can see it's now relaxed. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to flip this over again to the wrong side. And once I flip to the wrong side, I'm going to pin down the collar, the black collar, with pin this down and sew down with 1/2 inch. So you can see my pins there. So I've gone ahead to sew from the notch, from one notch to the other notch using 1/2 inch. And now I trimmed out the excess fabric that we have. So you can go ahead now and weave it round. Then after weaving, you can now top stitch your neckline. Okay, you need to top stitch so that it will keep the collar in place. Okay, so I'm going to be top stitching this very close to the collar. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Please do not skip this part. It's very important. This will keep your collar in place. Okay, so I'm top stitching round the neckline. So once I'm done top stitching the neckline, I'm going to be folding my armhole by 1 inch. I'll be hemming the armhole by 1 inch. I'll be doing the same thing on the other side as well. Hem the other armhole by 1 inch. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you have watched this video to this point and you enjoyed my tutorial, please give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends. Share with your friends. So now I'm done sewing down the armhole. I'm just going to join the sides together using 1/2 inch to join the sides. So if you want yours to have slits, you can as well give it a little slit before you get to the bottom. You can measure like 14 inches and give it a little slit. But I want mine covered, so I sewed everything down to the hem. So I'm going to flip over to the other armhole and I will sew this down all the way to the hem. I don't want slits for mine. So once I'm done doing that, I will hem the bottom of the dress. I decided to add a little pocket to my dress. You can see that I'm feeling fly in my dress, and you can see how the pocket looks after I am done joining. Don't forget to iron your dress as you sew along. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Leave a thumbs up and share with your sew friends.